Oh, hello. Thank you all for the recent support. I really appreciate it. And saying that, it's time to get myself into trouble. And by getting myself into trouble, I think the best way is to try to make everybody mad. And we're gonna do that by talking about the best and the worst while doing a lifestyle or province vlog. I'm gonna be talking about the United States, talking about the Philippines, and first I want to respond to a couple comments. Pew! There's a staircase over there where I was last time, and people were commented, "Oh my god, what a resort you're at." No, I'm actually at a public river that the local barangay builds around so people can swim, do some laundry. I'll try to zoom in on stuff down there. But you have a whole park over here in Siquijor. You have a lot of rivers. We're starting off positive. 1 point to the province, that's a good thing. There's not a lot of pollution. There's not there's a lot of things that you get in the province that you're not gonna get in the city, such as a giant pool. And I know there's people wondering right now, so I'm just gonna do it. There's fish in here, but the water's not salty. I can't taste any salt. And for the bottom, you have a type of clay sand. When you break it up into the water, this is how it breaks up. I know there's gonna be people asking about that, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way. You know, just got a normal clay little bottom. Over there it gets to be about 2 meters deep. I have to stand on my tippy toes to touch. Anyway, back to the best and the worst. Today we're gonna be showing some laundry, showing some cool things in the province, but I also want to make it a condensed video. You know, province 1, all these rivers, all these fun activities that you can do for free, really, really cool, you know. United States, I'm gonna say infrastructure is really good, but I feel the stress is a lot more than here in the province life. I'm saying that big cities, Manila, Cebu, you know, kind of polluted. There's a lot of things going on right now with the jeepneys, emissions, so they're trying to combat that. But I can't imagine having a place like this where there's clean water, where you can use it wherever. A lot of rivers in the Philippines are polluted. One part is just population, you know. It's one of the most densely populated countries, and you're gonna have that. So yeah, there's a positive, there's a negative. Maybe province 1, cities in the Philippines -1 or 0, however you want to keep score. And while making this, I'm actually getting a ticket right now. But I won't hold that against anybody but myself.
Hello sir, it's my job to implement the ordinance of the municipal of San Juan. It's a small citation. It's 200 first buffet.
Hindi ako pwede mag-park dito o doon?
Yeah.
Which actually gives me another point to talk about. The police here and the traffic guards, they get a +1 too. I know I have a $3 or $4 fine to pay, but I would much rather deal with these people than with the police back home. All right, I recorded me walking in less than a minute. That's how easy it is to pay your dues here. All right, that took about 2 minutes and $3 or $4. I think it's really funny that I wasn't even gonna think about making that. But in the United States, you would have to get stuff in the mail. You might have to go to court. You might have to pay online. You know, it's a bigger deal than it is here, where they give you a ticket. They gave me a ticket over there, or us a ticket really. And then you have to walk over there to that building right there, and it's over in like 2 minutes. So another point for the province, actually, funny enough. All right, I got distracted. Traffic enforcers and police here, they get a point. Very friendly, easy process. They're not weird or rude, or like on a power trip like some of the cops in the United States are. I do like the police in the United States. I think every country needs them. But you know, people talk about how you're nervous when you see the lights behind you, how when you see a cop, you think he's gonna pull you over. Here, they actually get you on some of the things you do bad, even though, as you will back me up, we've been parking there for 2 weeks with everybody else.
No, we parked behind the sign.
No.
It's our first time parking there. When you park there, I was gonna tell you, hey, are you sure we're gonna park here? And
I don't believe that.
And I wanna blame you because whenever we get caught for traffic violations, I can always talk it out. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't mean. And that works here. But I guess you're not.
Anyway, province gets 2 points. How it can be hard to get motivation, or you really have to adapt to a lifestyle out in the province. It really is a lot, and it is a big difference. If you're an older person, you probably, if you're in not the best of health, you need access to hospital or certain types of medication, you probably want to be in a larger city than actually out in the province like we've been doing. If you need malls, if you need a lot of infrastructure, if you want to eat fast food, you can't do that out here. So that's one of the bad things. It can be, you might not have electricity everywhere because the power grid's not good, or like what's happening in Mindoro, where they're not paying their bills.
Not. For me, the worst thing in being a province is you kind of undergo, you know, a withdrawal kind of thing. Because I grew up in a city near Manila, so I'm used to having access to almost everything. And now I'm like, I want to buy something, but it's not, I can't buy it here. I can buy it online, but it's gonna take like a week to have it delivered here. Or I'm used to eating McDo, fast food, and they only have one fast food here, and it's like 20-minute drive from where we're staying. And then when you see like new movies, and like there's no mall here, so you kind of have to.
People from the Philippines, the United States, most of you, like 95%, are 25 and older. I think majority are like between 25 and 50 or something. You're interested in United States, Philippines, and traveling. We're gonna be putting out a video tomorrow or the next day. We want to do like a pretty cool segment where we're both sitting down, we're talking about current news, we're talking about fun stuff. But if anybody wants us to talk about your story or something that you're going through and you want us to talk about it, anything,
it's like we want to make you feel like you're heard, or we want to have a community where we can talk about different stuff with each other. I guess it comes from, we have been traveling together for a couple of months, and we feel like it's kind of hard to be just with one person for like a long time. That's why we want to have
yeah, I agree with that. It can be hard to live with,
that's why we want to make connection with other people, connect to them, you know, build a community with other adults, so we can find our way through life. And I think we also have audience who are like older than us. I feel like they can give us insights, like advices to like young
it'd be cool if like we could do like an anonymous thing. If you have like money problems, or you've been through things in life and you want to remain anonymous, if you like send me an email or like a story, or you don't want to remain anonymous, I don't know, and we could really talk about different things, finances, we could talk about traveling, horror, like bad things that have happened, good things that have happened, like but we also want to talk about like different news between the two countries, maybe compare like maybe what's happening with the United States, and then, oh, what are things happening, you know, we want to make it fun. We don't just want to talk about the news, we want to kind of make fun and maybe have a dialogue about stuff, because I think there's a lot of things that you can make fun of right now in the United States and the Philippines, kind of like me getting a ticket, but everyone's like very friendly. There's a lot of little intricacies that we can talk about, but yeah, if anybody has anything they want us to talk about, any news, any personal stories, maybe you got scammed, like maybe you did something that you regret, and you want to remain anonymous, send me an email and we'll talk about it. All right, before we continue, no parking. Does that mean no parking there? No parking here? Parking area. So the parking area is right there, but it's not here. So sometimes the signs really make you wonder. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. What do you think? A plus or a minus?
Well, wow. I mean, this is, I don't know, but this is like the most fun thing, or most fun way of doing the laundry for me.
In a river.
Yeah, in a river, you get to do it with other people. And the best thing about it is, it's free! It's free.
I agree. I think it is something that is, it's kind of nice to get away from, I don't want to say get into nature, but I don't know, doing something in the river, like doing your laundry is kind of like refreshing.
And we're saving a lot of money.
And saving a lot of money. Number 3, street dogs, positive and negative. It's kind of funny how we're doing laundry and then they walk by and I'm like, oh, I could talk about street dogs. What's your thoughts on street dogs?
Dogs are lovely, but it's kind of scary because you know that if any of the street dogs will bite you, you're probably gonna get rabies.
Yeah, you don't want to catch rabies when you get bit by a street dog. No, but I love dogs. Dogs. But street dogs definitely are a problem, you know, especially at night when they follow you, bark at you. They form little packs at night like wolves. So, negative for the Philippines. That's one of my least favorite things, when you see a dog on the side of the street laying there, his skin problems, all dried out. Some dogs look like they're about to die, and it can be very sad to see that. So minus 1 point to the Philippines for that, although I do love dogs. It would not be a video without talking about beaches and sandbars. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that people think about when here in the Philippines. And oh look, you see all those dogs up there? That's kind of what I'm talking about with the street dogs. They are everywhere, and I love dogs, I really do, but it gets tiring after a time when there's dogs everywhere, peeing, always barking, you know. I mean, I don't know, it's just something that you have to get used to, but that is definitely a negative. The United States, if I want to keep up with the United States, I have to use Google or YouTube, and in the past week or two, you know, it just seems like it's becoming more depressing as time goes on. If you pay attention to things, like I've said in the past, was one of the reasons I felt like I had to get out of there. I mean, it just seems that everything is geared at getting emotional responses out of us, and things aren't getting better. So -1 for the United States. I feel like I keep on saying -1, +1, but I'm not keeping track. So I'm gonna put things on the screen for maybe anybody who wants to do their own little +1 or -1 thing in the comments. Like I'll put like corruption, mental health, living, cost of living, standard. Like I'll put a bunch of things up. You can do like a little thing if you want in the comments. But besides that, we're gonna try a new style of video, kind of lifestyle, but kind of just talking to each other about current things happening. I think it'd be kind of cool to like talk about, you know, just some of the stuff happening in the world, and maybe bring in people closer together who are watching these videos on, maybe if you're from the United States and you want to learn about Philippines, or you're Filipino or curious about the United States, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. And thank you for all the support. Really, all the support has been fantastic.